The Waking Justice Project is a nonprofit effort to encourage collective action across all sectors of global justice. Whether social justice, democratic justice, environmental justice, or animal justice, we believe that ultimately we're all fighting the same system. It's a system that's based on a core human error, the idea that some lives matter more than others. In societies, it emerges as a system of interlocking structures of oppression, including structural racism, structural classism, structural sexism, and structural speciesism. These are the age-old structures of patriarchy that have dominated societies for millennia. In America, it emerged as white supremacist capitalist patriarchy, as feminist scholar Bell Hooks explains it. And now, in its latest incarnation, patriarchy morphs into corporate plutocracy, retaining all the old structures of oppression. But under this corporatocracy, those structures have been commodified, privatized, made profitable, and mass-produced exponentially. Racism morphs into the militarization of community policing and for-profit prisons. Police shootings become a leading cause of death among Black men. Sexism morphs into the pornification of mainstream culture. Sexualized male violence against women increases exponentially. Speciesism morphs into the industrial-scale brutality of factory-farmed animals for America's disease-for-profit food system. Activists who expose its cruelty are indicted as domestic terrorists. Classism morphs into austerity politics, the plunder of the social safety net, the criminalization of poverty, and skyrocketing income and wealth inequality. In fact, leading economist Thomas Piketty contends that income inequality in the U.S. is now higher than any other society at any time in the past, anywhere in the world. As renowned scholar Noam Chomsky has said, concentration of wealth yields concentration of political power, and concentration of political power gives rise to legislation that increases and accelerates the cycle. Indeed, as a recent study from Princeton University revealed, the average American now has a near zero, statistically non-significant impact on U.S. public policy. But when corporate elites want to stop a new policy, there's a 100% chance they'll get their way. The results? The US-led corporatocracy is now pushing our planet to the brink of social, economic, and ecological collapse. As Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Chris Hedges has said, corporations now control all levers of democratic reform in the US, including both political parties, the election systems, the courts, and the mass media. The ruling elites and the corporations they serve are the principal obstacles to change. And since they won't give up power democratically, Hedges says, we will have to take it through other nonviolent means. And that means revolution. We agree with Chris Hedges' assessment. It is beyond delusional to still believe that voting and protest can ever win real change. We're not saying don't vote and protest. Those actions are vital to awaken the masses. But voting and protest will never accomplish real change. As Buckminster Fuller has said, you never change things by fighting the existing system. To make real change, you build a new system that makes the existing system of corruption obsolete. That is the revolution we seek. The corporatocracy is a top-down, centralized social system. It concentrates wealth at the top and distributes power downward as a means of social control. To achieve a just and sustainable new society, we must build a bottom-up, decentralized system that distributes wealth and power equitably to promote social stability and economic prosperity for all. The core building blocks of such a society are resilient, self-reliant communities. And the foundation of a resilient community is a just and sustainable local food economy. It's when the local food system works bottom up to eliminate local hunger and ensure nutritional security for all its citizens. It's built upon regenerative, plant-based agriculture that restores the nutritional quality of food, while simultaneously recovering local ecosystems and biodiversity, and reducing climate breakdown and environmental pollution rather than contributing to it. It builds good green jobs into worker cooperatives across all links of the local food supply chain. And it builds up community wealth and interdependence by exponentially increasing the velocity of local money. If we truly want a Green New Deal, it will be brokered and built at the local level, community by community. It's why the real revolution starts at home, at local food sheds, plant-based farms, and community gardens, at grocery co-ops and local food hubs, in your own garden, in your kitchen, and on your plate. The real revolution is a local revolt. In fact, such revolutionary efforts are already underway in communities across the country and around the globe. And through our local revolt campaign, the Waking Justice Project seeks to explore such efforts and promote investment in those which best exemplify their link in the local food supply chain. And along the way, we'll also explore model efforts across all the key components of a resilient, self-reliant community, including affordable housing and critical community facilities that ensure shelter for all citizens, community-based policing to protect the peace and ensure security for all, citizen-based education that provides alternative paths for childhood learning and job skills training, as well as the arts, fitness, natural healing, and preventative nutrition. Renewable energy co-ops and community policies that promote local investment in green energy and storage, as well as reductions in energy consumption. A clean air and water coalition that promotes conservation policies, organizes cleanup projects, and penalizes chronic polluters by organized boycott. Accessible healthcare for all citizens, including equitable access to preventative nutrition and natural healing therapies. Community banking that turns the power of lending into a local public utility, lending at low interest rates to invest in local projects. Citizen-based communications, from local broadcast radio to local Wi-Fi, that are built, owned, operated, and used by citizens in a participatory and open manner. And public transit systems that ensure equitable access for all citizens and which incentivize green technologies and citizen-based ownership. Such citizen-led efforts are the key components of a resilient, self-reliant community. And resilient communities are the core building blocks of a just and sustainable global society. It's why the global revolution is a local revolt, community by community. And as we have discussed, the foundation of a sustainable local revolt is a just and sustainable local food system. So if you're currently involved in a local project that strengthens the links in your local food supply chain, we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at info@wakingjustice.org and tell us about your work. Or if you want to learn more about local revolutionaries who are making evolutionary change in their communities, you can go to our website at wakingjustice.org to subscribe to our podcast. And while you're there, you can sign up for our local Revolt weekly e-newsletter as well. But we're running out of time, y'all, so join us. Peace.
You must be involved in the struggle for freedom and justice.
If it's about love, if it's about
Justice is waking waking, justice is rising. Justice is waking, justice is rising. Justice is waking, justice is rising. And it ain't just us, it's all of us. Justice is waking, justice is rising. And it ain't just us, it's all of us. If it's may every soul unite, tend the fire and let old coals relight. I'm a citizen of the world and we fight for the rights of everybody to live a truly free life. Red or yellow, black or white, left or right, gay or straight, human or animal, all life. Cause what matters is what is in common. If you know it, stand tall and keep dropping the knowledge. Justice is waking, justice is rising, and it ain't just us, it's all of us. If it's about love.